This is the Lauf Anywhere, a brand new road, gravel, crossover, sort of hybrid bike from Iceland. And I think, possibly, this could be the ultimate all-day, all-road, mountain biker's road bike. And I'm going to try and explain why that might be the case. In recent years, Lauf have best been known for their gravel bikes and gravel products. They have the True Grit, which is a great gravel race bike. And they have the Grit suspension fork, which has 30mm of travel provided by some leaf springs to give a very supple ride over gravelly roads. As you can see, this doesn't feature their suspension fork. In fact, it features just a regular fork, or just a fork. Jaff, as they call it. So what are those rides that the Lauf is, in theory, designed for? Well, it's those kind of long all-day rides where you need maximum comfort, but not necessarily lots of aero or lots of efficiency. So it's a bike for doing big rides on mixed surfaces. It's not a traditional hardcore gravel bike, so if you're going to go on some big, dirty, chunky gravel roads, this might not be the one. But if you've got those real smooth, fine fire roads, or those long drags you get in the Midwest of the US, maybe this bike is quite well suited to that. And that is for a number of reasons. Lauf have always been known for using glass fibre in their suspension fork, and they've moved this technology to their Smoothie Handlebar. So if you want to maximise comfort on fine gravel or on rougher roads, one of the ways you can do this is to reduce the buzz through the handlebars. They've introduced glass fibre to the carbon layup of the handlebar to give a little bit extra damping and theoretically then a little bit more comfort. And that moves along with the shape of the handlebars as well. So the top corner is quite a tight little radius there, and it's quite nice for planting your hands on top of the bars. I've used this bar in a different form on a different bike, and it was quite a comfy bar. There's also a fair bit of flare, so it's real comfy on those longer days out in the saddle. You can get a nice position down in the drops. Now, because this bike isn't designed for the chunkier gravel roads, they have stuck with a rigid fork. It's just a fork, and it comes with triple mounts on the side. So that hints that maybe if you're into the more adventure side of long distance cycling, this bike could be a good option. The fork has a bolt through axle, it's got those triple mounts on the side for bolting things to it, and Lauf claim that it comes in at 395 grams, so it's not particularly heavy, it's also not super light. So while Lauf have given extra comfort with their handlebar, as you can also see, the bike comes with some pretty chunky rubber on there, mounted on some relatively wide rims. Lauf say that you can fit up to 45C tyres in there, and these have a 22.5mm wide rim, so you're getting plenty of volume from your tyres. There's also a lot of room for mud, grit, gravel to get chucked around and not get caught up in the frame. So alongside being able to mount things to the fork, the frame also has 3 sets of bottle cage mounts. There's one on the seat tube, one on top of the down tube, and there's another one hidden just underneath it, so plenty of carrying capacity for lots of water. The other mounts you might have noticed is just up here, and that's for what they might call the bento box. So you can carry snacks in here, and there are various products on the market that will bolt directly to there to give you a nice, clean, smooth way of carrying your snacks. The guys at Lauf do live in the real world, and they do fix their own bikes. I've seen them do it. And they have a couple of little features on the bike that make life just that bit easier. They have the in-out cable system. Now, if you go from the head tube and poke your outer cable or your brake hoses into one hole, it will miraculously appear at the back. I've tried it before, it does work pretty well. It's nicely internally routed. And thank God, they have external bottom brackets, which are a lot easier to work on and, in my experience at least, tend to be that little bit more reliable. Now, if you really do want to use a 2x system on your Anywhere, or for that matter a True Grit, you can. However, because there's no cable routing for a front mech, it has to be electronic and it has to be wireless. And that, at the moment at least, means SRAM's ETAP. So this really is just a road bike. It has chunky tyres for comfort and the handlebar, which takes a bit of the buzz out. But Lauf don't really follow relatively traditional road bike geometry. They have a thing called long for speed, and this basically means that you get a long top tube, a short head tube, slack head angle, but then run with a short stem and short stays. This means you get the length for stability at speed, but you'll get the short stem and chain stays for snappier handling. And they reckon you get a bit of everything. Plus that extra length means you can get in quite a nice aero tuck on the bikes. Lauf will be offering the Anywhere in 4 different models and a frame set. There's the Core, the Weekend Warrior, the Race and the Race Di2. There's also the frame-only option that comes in at $2,340. Now that obviously comes with the frame and the fork, but you also get the handlebar, some grip tape and a few other little bits and pieces, including the rather natty bottle opener down there. Now all the bikes and the frame set comes with various colour options, and you can upgrade for an upcharge to various different colours as well, should you wish. And I think you can even specify your exact colour with the RAL code or the RAL code, and that costs quite a lot of money, but you can do it. So that's the Lauf Anywhere. Are you a mountain biker? And if so, do you think the features on this bike can pull you over to the dark side and those tarmac trails? Are you a road cyclist and do you think they've gone a little bit too far? Is it a bit too oddball for your traditional tastes? Let us know in the comments. Have a look at BikeRadar.com for a full rundown of the bike and the specs. Don't forget that we will be reviewing this bike, so keep an eye out for a full review soon. And in the meantime, don't forget to like or subscribe.